2013. 43 years since the country kicked off that campaign against poaching in 1970. Decades later, the problem is yet to be sorted out. What is standing in the way?
The problem is the demand for ivory. The demand has kept on growing and growing in leaps and bounds. We have seen changes in the ability of the user countries, of the populations of the user countries. They have improved tremendously, and their economy has improved. You find that a lot of people have moved to the middle class, and they are increasingly looking for items of value to buy. And unfortunately, some of the items they consider of value is ivory and maybe rhino horns, and that is the source of our problem. So the demand is there, and until the demand is removed or killed, then the problem will have to persist.
Some analysts say that perhaps things are looking up. There is a new wildlife bill on the way. There is a framework that is now seeing other units such as the GSU and the administration police coming in to help in matters conservation. Looking forward, what is the outlook?
We are sure that wildlife will remain in spite of the challenges, because the problem that is currently facing Kenya is not facing Kenya alone. It is a problem that is being experienced across all the elephant range states. And Kenya, comparatively, is doing relatively good. However, we don't need to rest, because those poachers, the moment they clear the elephants from the other range states, they will still focus on Kenya. So we need to have our acts together and ensure that we put our structures in place and systems in place to ensure that we protect our wildlife. We have seen our numbers increase from an all-time high of about 165,000 in 1970. And then by 1989, the population had really dropped to a low of 16. And right now, we are talking of a population that is well above 30,000. So we are doing relatively well. But we are not just about to rest. We'll put in more efforts. But
what assurance is there that generations and generations to come will not be seeing remains of elephants in museums like Ahmed?
The efforts we are putting in place are just about to ensure that we have our elephants population. And if anybody can take care of that and assure Kenyans that they will still in future see elephants in the wild, not in captivity, then that organization is Kenya Wildlife Service. We have the capability and the personnel and the will to do that.
In the past few months, we've seen seizures of tons of ivory. What's the plan? Are we going to see another banning of ivory? Are we going to create a monument?
When we talk of ivory, we need first of all to ask ourselves, whose ivory is it? The ivory we have is a government trophy, and that explains why every person we arrest, the people we arrest with ivory or any other trophy, the charge that we prefer against them when we take them to court is being in possession of government ivory illegally. So, that being the case, the ivory stockpile that we have in here at KWS that we are holding, we are doing that on behalf of Kenyans, and a decision will be made at an opportune time at the highest level of the government to determine what will be done. However, the question of banning ivory still remains one option. However, it's not the top. That option does not sit at the top of the list of what needs to be done with our ivory.
Finally, with the devolved system of government, some leaders are spoiling for a fight with KWS. In Taita Taveta, for instance, the leaders are saying that the Servo National Park should be managed by the Taita Taveta County Council. It's the same case with Amboseli in Kajiado County, the Maasai Mara in Narok County. Are we likely to see KWS losing control of some parks?
I do not see that, because the Constitution is extremely clear. It is the 5th schedule, if I'm not wrong, stipulates the roles of the central government and the roles of the county governments. And wildlife management of wildlife is an aspect that is under the central government. Of course, if that has to come, then deliberation at the relevant forums of government will have to take place if that has to change. However, it is still clear that wildlife management is a function of the central government and not of county governments.
All right, thank you so much. We have been speaking to Paul Mbugua. He is the spokesman for the Kenya Wildlife Service, of course, giving an assurance that generations to come will get a chance to see wildlife and they will not see remains such as we have seen with Ahmed at the Nairobi National Museum. For now, I hand things back to you, Jane.